Let's get into it, baby.
Ah, yeah, it's time to travel and bang, baby.
This is Travel and Bang. I am Marky Bravo, the mulatto. We're back again. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. On this one, I'm having to dig down deep to make time and to do this video. Like a week ago, I said barely a week, my dog passed away. Okay, my buddy, my best friend, my little homie, my baby boy. I mean, I adopted him 10 years ago at the Humane Society. He wasn't a bad boy dog. You know, a bad boy dog is, you know, Pit Bull, Doberman Pinscher, Labrador Retriever. You know, bad boy dogs are bigger sized dogs. He was a Chiweenie. He was a Chihuahua, half Dachshund. That's a Wiener German dog. Really small sized dog, very long dog, like the Dachshunds, and it hurt. He died in my arms, literally. It's not figure of speech, and it made me realize two things: our mortality. It stared my own mortality in his eyes, and at the same time, I realized something about attachment. And I want to relate that to this video, which I called "Never Be Disobedient with the Main Ingredient." Okay, that saying comes from it's a quote from Pimpin' Ken Ivey. Okay, he said was a real life pimp, and I think 70s or 80s, and he came out with a couple books that I read, the Pimpology, the 48 Laws of Game, and the Human Art of Chess. And he kept using that phrase, and I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. You know what I mean? And in a street terminology way, never be disobedient with the main ingredient, meaning the main ingredient is what you know things to be in the reality that we live. And when you're disobedient, right, you don't follow that protocol. You break away from it. You will always, surely most of the time, you will punish yourself. You will meet defeat. You will pay the repercussion. You will pay the price. You know, I used to think that when I was younger that, well, it won't happen to me. You know, I can marry this thought. You know what I mean? And you know, others can't do it. Can't make it work, but I can. You know, whatever situation you put yourself in that you know you're being disobedient with the main ingredient, that you will pay the price, if not right then and there, down the line, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe it's years before you pay the price and encounter loss. You know what I mean? And nothing's worse than investing, and you don't get an ROI, a return on investment. Okay, it's the shittiest feeling in the world, and so I want to talk about that. Never be disobedient with the main ingredient. For instance, when we're talking about women, we should always keep a high standard to ourselves. What's the high standard? It isn't like, oh, I need a 10 or a 9 or 8. That is superficial. That is, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What turns you on doesn't turn me on. Remember, I was in Afghanistan, and this one dude, Tyrone looking motherfucker, he was like talking about how he liked women with big round booties, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, what do you mean, yeah? And I was just like, well, I don't know. I really don't want a huge booty, a woman with a huge ass, you know? I'm more for petite women, you know what I mean? Maybe with a nice little round bubble booty, you know what I mean? It's still round, but it just ain't, you know, it ain't so domineering, you know what I mean? And he looked at me like I was crazy. So, you know, never be disobedient with the main ingredient. The other person's main ingredient is not your main ingredient. What turns them on isn't probably what turns you on. You have to, as the oracle of Delphi back in ancient Greece said, know thyself. You have to know thyself. That is being obedient. When you're obedient with the main ingredient, that is when you're in alignment with who you are as a man. You understand that? The more that you know thyself, you do soul searching, you look within, you start asking questions about the universe within, right? There's a universe out here, as in Kybalion, which is a book I want most all men to read. I'll probably leave a link for it, even so I think 90% of guys are too dumbfounded to really digest this or even put the energy of interest to wanting to read it. Well, it says Hermes Trismegistus, also known as Thoth of ancient Egypt, said, as above, so below, as within, as without. Okay? And I'm not going to get into, oh, it means this and this, you know. Like I said, you go research it, you go read the book, you'll understand after a while, but it's just what it means. That's why I tell you, go into the universe within so you can know thyself. And just like I related to knowing what really turns you on, what really arouses your senses, you know, in regards to women and relationships, to know thyself of what your goals are. What is your mission, right? When you know thyself, everything becomes more clear. You spend less time with the wrong type of women, right? Because you know thyself. You already know right off the bat, oh, she's one of those girls. You keep it moving. Keep it, you know, cut it short, and you keep it moving. And there's nothing invested, so there can't be, when you don't get the ROI, the return on investment, right? You can't get upset because you never invested anything. You knew it right off the bat because you knew thyself. You knew what kind of women that you're looking for and which ones you're not looking for, right? And you notice that with the men that they're lost in the sauce, as we used to say in the U.S. Army, lost in the sauce. Don't be lost in the sauce, you know, because they don't know themselves. They get caught up here, then they get caught up there. Perfect example, very close friend of mine, very close friend. I'm not going to out him like that, but you know, if he's watching, he probably knows I'm talking about him. A friend of mine, a couple years ago, got married, and you know, he's kind of like, I wouldn't say deep regret, but if he could undo it, he would. You understand? He would. He would not want to be married to that woman that he's with now. But now he feels that he's so balls deep into this marriage. He invested so much already. He doesn't want to, you know, walk away. Even so, I feel anybody in that situation should walk away. We're only here for a limited time. But you understand that? At the time, he didn't. I don't think people don't know thyself. Because when you really take time for deep inner reflection, you go into monk mode, or some men like to call it MGTOW, men going their own way. Even so, I try to stay away from that word because it's become synonymous with just, you know, this incel, I hate women type of people, type of guys, you know what I mean? Not all. But, you know, go into monk mode, look into yourself, and then you know what you're really looking for. And you're not just going to take, you know, if you're starving, you're not just going to take the first plate of food offered to you. You're willing to stretch it out a little longer till you meet the type of woman that really, you know, that you can hold out for the long duration. This is also that don't be disobedient with the main ingredient. Don't cheat time. You can't cheat time. Okay? You can't. The faster you try to make something go, the faster you jump into it, you're rolling the dice. You don't even know if you're compatible with this woman. You know, don't let your hormones, don't let this scarcity thinking that if I don't take it now and jump in balls deep with this woman, that I'm gonna lose it. You know what I mean? If there's a chance that you lose something within the first couple of weeks or a month or something, it isn't for you. You understand? It isn't meant for a long duration of time. Don't be disobedient with the main ingredient. Take your time. Get to know every woman that even you get sexual with. Look, gentlemen, we all read it on the dating apps, right? I'm not here to hook up. You know, I'm not looking for hookups. This is the most absurd thing in the world. And the women who say that are all single. You know why they're single? Because how do you think you formulate a relationship? A relationship is, and you know the formula is hang out, have fun, hook up. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Repeat. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Hook up meaning fucking, all right? And if you do that enough with a woman that you're deeply attracted to and you have commonalities with, what ends up happening, whether you like it or not, you might be in denial about it, but you'll end up developing some form of a relationship, okay? You may not even claim it as a relationship, but trust me, it is. It is. You know, by definition, it is. And that is the formula. So, you know, when you read this on the dating apps and the dating sites, when women say, oh, I'm not here to hook up, like, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Otherwise, what women are asking for is an instant, just add water, instant relationship. Meaning that, oh, if I hang out with you and have sex once, we're instantly a couple. That's crazy. That's how you get sucked into fuckery. Pure drama-filled fuckery. Because they're cheating you the experience of getting to know them in a process which might take a month. Understand that. You know what I mean? Being more obsessed with the status of being called a couple, a girlfriend and boyfriend, than actually taking the time to get to know each other. You know what I mean? And even having lots of sex to see if there's compatibility for a longer duration than just a couple times, right? Because you've been with women like that. I've been with women like that where it was fun a couple times, but it wasn't enough fire behind it for me to want to hang out longer than a couple weeks. You understand? And this is all, like I said, this is all scarcity thinking, not even just on men's part, even on women's part. Scarcity mind states. When you're in abundance, and we all talked about being obedient with the main ingredient is a form of creating abundance when there is none. This sounds nuts. This is woo-woo. What are you talking about, Marky Bravo? It is that you want to keep pulsating even the worst times where there is scarcity, that you are in abundance. And here, and then when you're hoping through the laws of quantum physics, because quantum physics is real, right? It isn't bullshit woo-woo, that the vibration, the frequency that you're putting out, right? Because everything is energy, frequency, and vibration, that eventually, even if it takes a long while, it'll come in alignment. It's like a harmony of a song that you're singing that's gonna attract that same song. So even if you're a guy, let's say, that you just wanna hit the poom poom, right? You just wanna zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. All you wanna do is, you know, smash, right? You just wanna have sex. That's it, shallow interactions with many women. When you're putting out that frequency, you know what I'm saying? You'll align with those type of women that are on your frequency. Eventually, you're gonna start running into a lot of those girls. And that's what I always saw, that if eventually I keep putting out the frequency of a more of a serious type, say I do want a deeper connection with a woman, you know, not just sexually, but, you know, really passionate, mind-blowing sex. If you keep putting out that song, you know, it's gonna correlate. You know what I mean? The frequency is going to attract the similar frequency. You know what I mean? And you're going to find that. You know what I mean? You're going to. It's the laws. It's a law. It's not a theory. It's a law. You know what I mean? Frequency, vibration, and energy. You understand? And that's why it's so vital that you remain, that you're not disobedient with the main ingredient. Don't be disobedient with the main ingredient. Stick to the rules. Stick to the foundation that's been laid out. It's simple. And also know that there is no gospel. I'm going to end the video like this to let you know, because there's so much more we can touch on. Other guys will say, no, what I'm teaching is the gospel. It's the way, it's the light. This is false prophecies, okay? There is no gospel. There's just what's good for you, okay? Because for one man, this might work, and for the other man, this won't work. There's a guy right now living out in his van with a hot number 9 girlfriend, almost a 10, and his dog living out of the van in his woods. How come that works for him but wouldn't work for another man? Because what works for him doesn't work for the rest of the population. You got to know thyself and find, you know, master that song, that rhythm of life, so that will attract what that needs to attract in your life. Yo, this has been Marky Bravo. I think I had a little bit too much wine, but cheers anyway. Till next time, travel and bang, baby.